Today is gearbox day. We're swapping the old 4-speed with short gear ratio for this 5-speed with longer gear ratios, and hopefully we can reach a bit higher of a top speed. We have some fresh oil, fresh seals, and an assistant. Let's go. First order of business, we already disconnected the battery. Mario's gonna take out the starter and the clutch slave cylinder. Meanwhile, I'm gonna go downstairs and disconnect the CV joints from the gearbox. Next on the list is disconnecting the shifter. Requesting 13s when possible. Kuanga, this is not that kind of video.
No original box.
We're done on top. The starter is out, the slave cylinder is out, and the 2 bolts here on the engine block are also out. All that's left is on the bottom.
Там бяхна позиция.
Да, ръката ми беше отдолу и се изметаше.
Няма бе, спокойно.
Да, съм го.
Това дали движение не създава проблеми?
Не се скъса. О, пригна.
Сега, къде ще държиш ти къде?
Ще държа отпред на див. Пази ръката.
Оп, стой.
With the 2 gearboxes side by side, we can see the differences. The rear mounting bracket on 5-speed is much shorter than on the 4-speed, and on the diesel it's lower than on the petrol, which means that I will either have to buy a diesel 5-speed one, which is shorter here, or instead what I plan to do is trim this down with the angle grinder like I did on the GTI conversion a couple of years ago. On the front, the bell housing is different also. The diesel starter sits on top, the petrol starter is moved to the side, and on the petrol the input shaft is 12 millimeters longer than with the one on the diesel, so I will have to swap that as well. Мамата му бе.
Държиш?
Да.
Ама, чай ти не говориш за двете.
While investigating the condition of the new gearbox, we have found a couple of problems. Starting with the pinion, not the crown gear, but there is a bit missing. That's kind of not good. Assuming that that's unnecessary and they just put it as extra material, there is another problem which Mario shall now demonstrate. He's gonna shift into third gear. That should be third gear. And it would appear, it looks like there might be a problem with third. The other five, yes, are okay, but third gear is not happy. So Mario just left. I'm not gonna lie, the morale is a bit low at the moment. I was kind of hoping that this would go smoothly. Although I guess it's my fault. I should have checked the gearbox before I disassembled everything. So I figured it would be fine for some reason. Right now we managed to narrow it down to the fact that it's not engaging third gear properly. It's either a worn out fork or something like that. I'm gonna need to think about what I want to do. Meanwhile, I'm gonna get some new friction material riveted to the clutch. Whatever gearbox I end up using, I'm gonna want to have a good clutch. And also I'll probably reach out to a gearbox mechanic or something like that. At least get a third opinion, because mine is useless at this. I have neither the knowledge nor the tools to deal with gearbox issues. I have always considered the gearbox a complete and entire part, and if I've ever had a problem with one, I've just replaced it. But in this situation, that's obviously not an option. I guess there's gonna be a part 2 of this episode. Thank you very much for watching. I'm gonna tidy up this mess, and you should wait for part 2, I guess.